Love is just like Maggie that you add to it. Love is the smallest ingredient in the equation of marriage. So you don't marry for love, you marry for longevity. Will this last? If it will not last, we can have a relationship, outside marriage, because it will be short-lived. You need to know that when someone is cordial with the enemy, you cannot sleep with the enemy cannot come. That is people that don't like you. Christians, you are the bigger fools. Why do we call a person a fool? A fool is a person that does not understand knowledge. A fool sees trouble from afar but cannot identify trouble. A fool sees trouble from afar and walks into trouble. You cannot stand against your spouse's family if they are joined against you. Yes, please, I cannot underscore or overscore this enough. Nigerians, for those of us here, please use your PVC on Saturday. I will not be going on air Relationship 360 this Saturday. There is no movement. Even if there was movement, I would want to vote and stay there with them, see how they count the votes. We need to change the dynamics of this country. We are headed into more perversion. Should some people come back into our constitution as the president of this country, please vote. Don't even vote wisely, Seth, because at times you can't even trust the wisdom that we possess. A change of government. I'm voting Peter Obi, absolutely. Because we just need a change of direction. We're not bringing Jurassic Park or bringing the old into... You don't put new wine in old wine skins. We need new ideas. We need people that can think. We need people that have the love of the country in their hearts. Not people that from the beginning have been contaminated and tainted with accusations, with embezzlement, with all kinds of... And their reign has brought nothing, no advantage to us. Please let us vote wisely. Blaze_girl, Feko, Bomo, everybody, welcome. So last week, I closed by asking us, I said this week, I would answer questions. That is today. Conde Drums, thank you. A lot of questions were coming up last week, and I had dedicated one time like that, maybe the last Thursday of every month, for questions. And the other time, people did not really ask questions until I started talking, and I was almost about to end, and people started asking. So today, let me... If you want to come live to ask your question, Eric.Ape, you were at my church last Sunday. Oh, St. Gerard, are you serious? Awesome. I hope that you had a good time. I hope you had a good time. So, if you want to request to be live on the program, I could share the screen with you so that you will ask your question and I would answer. Or if you would like to type it, I would read your question and I would answer. So please, for about the first 15-20 minutes, let your questions come, because I see a lot of you have questions or issues that you might want to ask about marriage, relationships, family, and all that. So can I wait? Can I ask you, those that want to, maybe you want to come live, you can just send me a request. I would accept. We would have a split screen. You would come here, ask your question. Please be bold. Question time before I go into what I want to discuss today. Erica, but thank you. You had a very good time. Did we meet? Did we talk? Or you stayed there in the audience? It was a journey. It was a journey, and it was good. It was good. Lots of young people. Someone asked me a question in St. Gerard's Church last week. She said, how can you know if your spouse is cheating? That question, if not that I was on stage, I would have started laughing out so loud. How do you know if your spouse is cheating? Probably you should talk to an inspector or a detective, someone who knows. Who knows? You don't just look at someone and you feel that the person is cheating. It's detective work. Maybe you start seeing some inconsistencies. Eric, how are you? So Damilari_Tonia, thank you very much. Barrister, what do you think about an example of a lady dating someone 10 years older? My honest opinion is that there is an age bracket. There is this age, there is an age bracket, which I think is 10 years. Now I shortened it to about 7 or 8. The problem we have is a generational difference. And in the tendency of a lot of older people wanting younger women, I didn't really mind, but the kinds of cases I saw were men who wanted younger women that they could control, who want younger women that are not as smart so that they can outsmart. Where there is a wide age gap is the gap needed for abuse to thrive. You are told that, you are still a small girl, you don't understand the ways of life, so you are told and taught to be silent in abuse. A lot of times, the age difference makes women think that, well, he's older, he will be smarter, he would be more experienced, he will be able to take, and which oftentimes is the opposite. I no longer support a wide age gap. 7, 8 years is good for me. 10 is pushing the limit. Though I know 1 or 2, I know someone who is 15 years older than the wife, and it's the wife that bullies him. He's just so calm. So these are exceptional cases. But if you were to ask me, 7 years is good. And it's getting to 10 years, 11, 12 years. It leaves an opening for more of probability for abuse. And then the generational gap. You have things that are not in common. The music is not in common. The reasoning is not in common. Ideologies are not in common. So I think 7 years is it for me. ALC_ME6. I'm particular about your last radio topic on the illegitimate marriages. What is the place of the children produced from such unions if anything happens to the parents? They are illegitimate children. There is a particular problem with illegitimacy. Now, let me show you this. From the moral, from the legal, and from the religious point of view, they have no cover. Now, when two people are living as cohabiting, as man and wife, in a union that is not recognized by law, by religion or by tradition. It means they have no legal cover, no religious cover, and no traditional cover, which leaves them open to the wolves. First of all, the Lord does not recognize you. You are like the bastard child. Do you understand? You are like the bastard child. Though you bear the son name, though they were conceived in, but there is no marriage certificate to say that your mother is the wife to your father. The religious part of it is that when you are living together and not married, you are living in fornication. You are living in coitus. That is, it is a sexual romp leading to the birth of children not recognized religiously. So as long as you remain in that house, the house is a home of fornication. And you cannot be praying for God's blessing on what God frowns at. God tells you to flee from fornication. All fornicators and adulterers shall have their place in the lake of fire. So it tells you that God sees that as hell. Then traditionally, you will find out, especially in the Igbo tradition, if a woman gives birth and you have not paid her bride price, they will not give the surname of the gentleman. They will give the surname of the family. The child belongs to the family of the bride. You will have no claim to the child unless you pay bride price. So it leaves the children open to spiritual attack, legal embarrassment, and traditional, how would I put it? You are not an outcast. You are not legitimate. You are inbred. So it's not a good position. And you have the prison system full of children who are illegitimate. That is single children raised by single mothers, children raised especially by single mothers, and children raised in families where father and mother were not legally married. The prison system is full of them. They have this uncovered life. This uncovered life. It is terrible. They are open to any, let me tell you, they are open to any kind of attack. Any ill will would happen. You know, if you believe in prayers, you cover your children. They can't be covered because they are part of a union that even the religion, it's a sex romp. It is living in coitus. Both of you are assuming an illegal identity. It is it's not a good place to be. Barrister, good evening, sir. Please, if someone did civil wedding, what do you mean by civil wedding? That is legal wedding. That is a registry, right? Without doing the traditional, is the person legally married? Sir, flourish. Oh, flourish, Deborah. When you say civil wedding, I don't understand. Is it legal wedding? That is, you went to the registry. If you went to the registry, you are legally married. You can either do registry or you do traditional. Those two, you are legally married. Or some people now do the two, like I did. The first thing I did was I went to the registry, we got married legally, then I now did traditional. So you can do both, or you can do one of the two. Either, whether traditionally, as long as you pay bride price, you are legally married. As long as you also go to the registry and you have a marriage certificate, you are legally married. Children of an illegitimate union, it's a problem. It's a problem. Illegitimate union meaning parents not single now. If the father and mother, they had the child, but they are staying separately, so it's baby mama, baby daddy, it is better than both of you now come together living as husband and wife when you are not married. You did not pay her bride price because she got pregnant. You just brought her into the house. Both of you started living and giving birth to more children. That is the problem. That is the illegitimate union. Not children born out of wedlock, as in, boyfriend and girlfriend, and, they did not come together. Just the father of the child is there, the mother of the child is there. So the father of the child can cover as the position of the father of the child. The mother of the child can cover as the mother of the child. But when you now bring a union that, okay, we are coming together now, that is where the problem is. Illegitimate union will breed illegitimate children. Though if you are not married and you have a child, the child is outside wedlock, it's illegitimate, but the consequences of those are not as those that come in an illegitimate union. That is, two illegitimacies. You only have one strike. Two illegitimacies, legitimate child, then illegitimate union. That is the problem. Thank you for the response. It appears from the response that the children who find themselves in such illegit situations cannot take their destiny into their hands and create their own path. It comes with a lot of struggle. It comes with a lot of, but it comes with knowledge. The Bible says you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. I was invited to Rochester College. Well, I got an invite to Rochester College in Festa in March to come and speak, the awareness against domestic violence and abuse that we are campaigning. And the civic education teacher, that is the secondary school civic education teacher, gave apparently his students an assignment to listen to Relationship 360 every Saturday. And then they come in civic education to discuss what they've heard. So some particular children listen to the illegitimacy, that is the illegitimate union. And that day, students started asking their parents questions. So one particular parent did not know whether he was offended or whether he was surprised or whether he didn't know what to say. The child asked, he said, "Dad, am I an illegitimate child?" Father said, "No, you are not an illegitimate child." Well, but your mother is here. Then now asked, "Are you legally married?" He said, "Yes, now we are legally." He said, "How did you marry? Is it traditional marriage?" And the father just, that where are all these questions coming from? And the son said, "Well, we're told to listen to this." And the father went to meet the teacher that, "How are you? What is the issue? What exactly is?" And he said, "Well, these are things that children should know as they are growing up." So, Tosi, listening from Kenya, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So then the teacher explains himself. And today, both parents and children are listening to Relationship 360 because they found it very, very interesting and amusing. Now, when a child realizes, for example, by knowledge, Oluwabs, that I am illegitimate, though daddy and mommy are living together, the child will think they are married. No child will just assume when all of us are living. But when the child finds that they are illegitimate, if knowledge would come in and say, daddy, mommy, you are illegitimate, can you legitimize? If suppose they even found out after the parents are dead that they were never really married, because that is when problems come. When you now want to bury the woman, that is where you now have problems with burying the woman. The family will tell you that you cannot bury you have to bring the corpse back. You will have a problem because you did not marry in the court. You did not marry traditionally. So knowledge, the Bible says you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. It is that truth, that knowledge that can set an illegitimate child free from the yoke of illegitimacy. What bothers me is the moral and the kind of spiritual cover. They are just It's like you birth a child into the forest, into the jungle, without the tools to protect the child. So it's a problem. Tosin, I remember from Doha to yes now. What are you doing in Kenya, Tosin? It is well. Thank you, ma'am. Everyone coming in, Health Kinetics. Thank you, Vichy underscore Castles. Coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, please, any more questions? You can take your destiny into your hands when you know the problem. The problem is not knowing the problem. Knowing the problem is 50% of the solution. Lots of people, it's just funny. It's just funny. I deal with a lot of people that we arrest, or I deal with a lot of people that, and I ask questions. And I would say, where's your dad? And my dad says, where's your mom? Mom is this. How did they give birth to me? So and so. Were they married? You start just taking the statistic. And I followed also the statistic in the USA. And it is the same thing there. The people with the highest population in the correctional system are illegitimate children. Single mothers especially, and children of illegitimate unions. They were just cohabiting and giving birth to children. It's amazing. Please, any more questions before I go on? Please, today is the day of questions. Okay. I'll be talking small. As nobody's asking questions now, I'll be talking small though, into what I've been talking about mothers-in-law, that about 31% of broken homes caused by parental interference is by the mother-in-law. The fathers-in-law cause about 6 to 7%. The mothers-in-law, 30 to 31%. It is amazing how women are their own problems. Where you have the mothers-in-law or mothers-in-law absent, then you have the sisters causing problem for the wives of the men. The sisters trying to boss the wife around, trying to dictate that this is my brother, this is my brother's house. So women have caused more problems in marriages than any other parent or gender. Did you get that? Both male and female gender, women have caused more problems for women in their marriages than men. Tosin, I have an acquaintance who seems to be mommy's boy. I have encouraged him to be listening to my show. Is there any other way he can be enlightened and become a man of his own? He needs a father. He needs a mentor. He needs someone he can look up to as an example. When you do not have an example, where you do not see an example, you become what you are used to, which is mommy. So you can be a mentor to him. You can be someone he can talk to, learn the ways of a man, correct him, and teach him how to think. There is also, under mother-in-law, an epidemic I would like to talk to us about this evening. And I would use the word enemy. Enemy. Cambridge Dictionary describes enemy as a person who hates or opposes another person and tries to harm that person. Elite Johnny, how are you? Collins Dictionary defines an enemy as a person who feels hatred for, fosters harmful designs against, or engages in antagonistic activities against another. Now, vocabulary.com defines an enemy as a person who actively opposes someone or something. So what we know for sure of an enemy is opposition, hatred, opposition. Now, my thoughts this evening are those who marry into families that hate them. I don't understand the Christian point of view, because a lot of times you have people saying and quoting Matthew 5:44, which is to love our enemies, and saying that, well, a lady was telling me this evening, she wants to leave her marriage, that she's someone who can live with anybody, that, she knows how to handle people. So, she's that kind of person, she can live with anybody. I've heard that before. I have a friend who also says, I know how to manage everybody. Managing people is different from marrying people. You can manage people in your office, but you cannot marry them. Matthew 5:44 tells you to love your enemies. It is different from marrying your enemies. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, people who get married to a family or family members, or a person who finds out that maybe the sister does not like me, the mother does not like me, the father does not like me, at what point is it a red flag? Is it if the sister likes me and the father-in-law likes me, is it okay? Or if the mother-in-law likes me but the father-in-law does not like me, is it okay? What if the father-in-law and mother-in-law loves me but his siblings don't like me, his sister, his brothers, all of them don't like me? At what point, where would the scale tip? Which one is it that, okay, as long as this one likes me, then it is all okay? The funny thing I have heard and I have seen is that you think that by showing an enemy love, the enemy will become your friend. They think that by feeding an enemy, it becomes a friend. They think by inviting an enemy into your home for holidays, for vacations, they will become your friend. Some even think that by sending money to your enemies, showing them that you care, they will become your friend. Now, showing an enemy love makes the enemy a lovely enemy. The word enemy does not leave that person, and feeding an enemy makes the enemy a bigger enemy, because you are giving nutrients to the weapon fashioned against you. Inviting the enemy into your house makes it even worse, because you have just brought the person looking to destroy you into your home. So the person learns of new ways to afflict you and to destroy your home. Sending them money equips them financially to afflict you, to fight you, makes them able to afford what they need. What they didn't have money for before, they now have money to purchase against you. So I have a problem. People thinking that they can live with any kind of weather, as long as my wife loves me, as long as my husband loves me, then it is okay to marry into a family that don't like you. You looking at your spouse thinking he is Voltron, defender of the universe. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are dating a person and you have gotten to that point that you see that I would like to spend the rest of my life with this person because the person has passed all the tests. The next thing is now to go to the family. The family is not the first place to go to. You don't carry yourself to the family before you are sure that this is the person I want to marry. Some people think taking a person to the family shows you are serious. Some ladies will say, if you want to date me, then come and meet my family. If you want to, thinking that coming to meet your family is a sign of commitment. The unfortunate thing for women is that they don't realize that you have just alerted. Now your family will know another name. Because before it was Chukudi, now it is Uche, then it is Femi. You keep bringing names and people to the family. They keep counting for you. You never take your rough work to your supervisor. You take a finished project to your supervisor. You never submit jottings to your teacher. You submit an exercise book, a complete exercise book. So you don't take someone home that you are still viewing, you are still thinking, you don't take them home because it's a rough work. And then, especially women, you now look promiscuous. You carry this one, carry that one, carry this one. Which one are you wanted? Then your family starts counting. So it is when you are sure that you move to the next step of family. And then man, when you get to the family, and you see some kind of resentment. You see some kind of looking at you like you fall below expectation, looking at you like you are from the wrong tribe. I have a current case. The only thing they have against the lady is that she's from Enugu. They are from whether Abia or some other, but the problem she has is that she's from Enugu. That's just the problem. Not that she has a problem with character, but she has a problem with what she could not control. That is where her place of birth. When you see that you are from the wrong tribe, or you are from the wrong complexion, or you have the wrong religion, you need to pause. At times you don't even know until you get married. Then in-laws will now start showing their true color. The moment you begin to see the true color of an in-law as an opposition, especially when it comes to mothers-in-law and father-in-law and probably sister, you need to hold your womb and not give birth yet.